Alright folks, today we're making this amazing looking version of Steak Oscar. So stay tuned. It's time to grill. This dish got his name from the Swedish King Oscar II. The people from Sweden invented this dish at the end of the 19th century, and it had the goal to include all the favorite ingredients of King Oscar. That's why we are starting with a huge Chateaubriand steak Irish Black Angus. The second ingredient is lobster. We are using lobster tails today. These are two beautiful lobster tails, and believe it or not, over 10 years of 0815 barbecue and we never prepared any lobster tails in a video. And here is how I do it. I take a pair of scissors and cut away the feet and all the things that are below the lobster tail. That's the first step. The second step is turn the lobster tail around and cut through the shell in the middle right till the end. At this point, for me, scissors are much more easier than a knife. Then take a sharp knife and cut through the middle and open it up. Now I'm trying to detach the meat from the shell, watching the guts, and remove them if you find them. Then you can take just your fingers or spoon and try to loose the meat from the shell. It makes the serving later on much more easier. It's pretty easy, just like that. Make sure to let it stick to the final part of the tail, and that's it. Of course, as always, I'm gonna speed the second one a little bit up for you, but the preparation is more or less the same. Today, the Steak Oscar is still part of the menu of many international steakhouses. So if you can ever get to an international steakhouse and find Steak Oscar, make sure to check it and check how the tiny differences and the clues and the different twists of the restaurant are with this dish. Here is the second lobster tail. What I haven't told you before is that in the meantime I have already prepared a starting chimney full of charcoal briquettes, and we are grilling this dish today on the Landman Kepler charcoal kettle. 2 baskets full of charcoal, just put on the grill grates and let that heat up for 15 minutes. Just enough time to prepare a little bit of a flavored butter, nothing fancy, just butter and lemon juice. Of course you can use lime juice if you like, you could add more to it, garlic. It's not too fancy today. The third ingredient, the third favorite ingredient of King Oscar was asparagus. That's why we're using green asparagus today. Of course, you can use white one. We have this one right now in Germany. It's the perfect season for this dish. But from the grilling perspective, the greener leads to a better result. We are starting with the Chateaubriand, grilling this one 4 minutes per side, 2 minutes, 90 degrees turn, 2 minutes flip, and same thing with the second part. Due to the fact that this steak is so huge, make sure to check the other parts and make a short searing for the sides, the top and the bottom. Just in case you're not familiar with the cut, a Chateaubriand means a double beef tenderloin steak. We are putting this on indirect heat, adding the butter, melt it, add the asparagus on direct heat. Make sure not to burn the tips. The tips should be over the lower part of the heat, and then grill them for 4 or 5 minutes on direct heat until they start to get brown and darker. Then move them to indirect heat, just right to the steak, and close the lid again. The lobster tails don't need much cooking time, that's why these are the last step of our dish. Just put on some melted butter. It of course will add flavor to the lobster tail, but it would also help that these lobster tails won't stick to the grill grates. This is way more important than the flavor part. Direct heat 2 or 3 minutes. Just make sure to check it. As soon as they start to get loose, flip them. Then you can just let them sit on direct heat a little bit more, because the shell is a little bit helping for direct heat, like a shield against the direct heat, and then flip them over to indirect heat as well. We are cooking the lobster tails to an internal temperature of 58 degrees Celsius. It's really important not to overcook them. Just add some more of that butter at the end of the cooking time, and then we're ready to serve. Another part of the dish is a sauce which is butter and egg based, which means a sauce hollandaise or a sauce Bernaise will work great. You could also do a sauce choron, which is the a hollandaise sauce with tomato paste. You should give this a try if you haven't tried that before. The slices of the steak look absolutely amazing. I'm really happy with the result. The lobster tails look even better. I like the color, the smell is good, it's buttery, and of course let's plate it up. 2 or 3 spoons of sauce Bernaise, and then we are adding some slices of that wonderful steak, asparagus, lobster, like the early surf and turf edition from Sweden. I love it. Some garnish here. I prefer parsley. Looks beautiful. I can't wait to hear what you think about that. Have you ever heard of Steak Oscar? Please leave me a comment and let me know. And of course, as always, I'm gonna give this a shot right now. One of my favorite all-time dishes. I ate like a king. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. We're seeing us again in the upcoming days. Thanks for watching. I'm out. See you.